Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, of course, is I want to finish up the inlet in the stock here so that the barrel fits. And the stock is too long. The barrel needs to actually stop back in here. This part of the barrel needs to hang out past the end of the stock. So I've marked where I want to cut it. And now I'm going to saw it off on my table saw. And I'm not going to use a blade guard or safety glasses. So it's going to look something like that. I got to take a lot off the bottom here, sanding it to get it to fit. But you can see here, this flare here will now fit down into the stock. So now I can start working on these channels and get this barrel to fit. Okay, I'm back. I decided I didn't really want to live with the barrel sticking up that much. Okay, so clamped it back down, went back over it with my Dremel tool. And the barrel does fit a lot better now. I like this much better, much happier with it. But I kind of wish I hadn't done it, and I'm kind of glad I did, because, and I'm not sure if you can see it in this, but there is a crack showed up right through the center here. Yeah, I know, it's barely visible, and it doesn't look like it goes all the way through. So I don't think it's anybody's fault. I think it just happened. It was just in the wood, and I just sanding it down exposed it. But here's the thing. What I've got now is, let's say that this board represents that channel, and you look here real close, you see that space there between the rings and the barrel? See, yeah, this barrel is just sitting on top of that, and there's a little bit of a gap down in there. Not much, but a little bit. So it's sitting in there like this. So it isn't supported like it was where it had these ring channels milled out in it. And I kind of want to do that. I just want it to fit in there a little tighter than before. So I'm going to try and experiment. First, I'm going to clamp this back down onto the workbench. Or I should say workbench / table saw. And some of this 2-part epoxy putty. And this, the brand on this is called Boncart, Boncart. Got it from Amazon Prime. Open it up here. So the idea here is I'm not going to bond the barrel in. Obviously, I'm not even finished with it. I don't have the spike done or anything like that. I'm really just filling in those spaces between the wood and I'm just, that's way too much. Yeah, so stuff is going to go a long ways. I'm going to put just a little there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this plastic and lay over it. Put the barrel down into it. Press it down in there nice and tight. And then clamp it in a little bit. Make sure that's down in there good and tight, and it looks like it is. And of course, if I was making this for somebody, I would take my time and do a better job of it, but I'm not. And I mean, no one's ever going to see this, and if I don't tell them about it, they'll never know it was there. And it's going to hold it in a lot tighter. Now I'm going to do this part here in the center where the spike goes after I put the spike in. So I'm just kind of leaving a channel here and a channel here for the rings to go down into, and then the barrel sits on the rest of it. Now, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put this barrel back in, and I'm going to clamp it back down and let it set up. I'm not going to clamp it down real tight. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure there on it. And just in case, for our friend, just in case, I'm going to tighten that up. Let's put it this way. Down like that. Clamp that together. There. And it's sitting in there as good as it's going to get. So I'll let that cure out. And that should hold the barrel in nice and tight. And you can see, I mean, it's got a good tight fit on it. And the only time I'll ever see it is when I take the barrel off to clean it. Otherwise, that'll give it a lot more support, and it'll help hold this front part together if that crack does go all the way through, or it tries to go through. This epoxy here should hold it together. So that takes care of that. And if you're thinking, yeah, okay, but this runs the historical accuracy of it because they didn't have two-part epoxy putties back in, the 15th century. Well, they also didn't mill their barrels out of a single piece of bar stock either. So, the historical accuracy only goes so far. Plus, they very easily could have and did have make a putty that served the same type of purpose out of a mixture of pine sap, charcoal, and fine sawdust. So they would heat the pine sap up, melt it, mix everything together, mold it into shape, and then let it harden up, and there's your epoxy putty. Well, your putty anyway, your adhesive putty, maybe, not epoxy. So anyway, I'm going to give that about an hour, take it apart, and I'll proceed from there with sanding down the stock. So see you next week.